Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. Show number one. We got Lucy in first. I thought Tim would be in first. Now he's in second or third. Oh, shoot. Oh, I didn't send him. Okay, we got some good stuff again today. Found some good videos, like always. Thanks again for the donations. Lucy, love ya. Hopefully Kay will get back on time. I think she had to go buy a new washing machine. Well, so I got two new interesting videos from Patriot Princess. She has an 18-minute one, and then she has her. I was on her page, but it's a 5-minute one. So we're gonna play Chico was at the park today. There he is. Chasing the bird. Cold wind. It's just sunny. About 3 minutes. Hiding behind. Chico. What hiding? Here he goes. There he goes. What you doing down there, Chico? Well, that was just a little bit ago. Sounds good, Carol. Have fun. Starfire. Yep, he's in the window. What you got there, Fighting Eagle? Iraq? Okay. I thought I heard something. So Patriot Princess has an 18-minute video. Fighting Eagle. It's kind of interesting, and a 5-minute one off her page. And then I got an important clip off about Melania, about someone was trying to assassinate her. So we got to play that. That's important video. And I got a two-parter on Chuck Schumer. Schumer hadn't spoken for about 4 or 5 minutes apiece. What else I got? Yep, got a bunch of other stuff. We'll be doing 2 shows. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll get some Kay's out Walmart, I think, getting her washer machine. You got the disclaimer, Fine Eagle? Entertainment purposes only, opinions only, YouTube. So please. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get going here.
Working with a valiant team of innovators. Her eyes sparkled with unyielding determination. Her powers drawn from the very spirit of freedom.
I think it's
alongside
old,
the president
I think it's new.
And a team of brilliant quantum scientists, she orchestrated a revolutionary city plan, switching the power grid to quantum-free energy. Massive archways hummed with ethereal energy. Tesla coils spiraled with magnetic grace, all inspired by Nikola Tesla's forgotten blueprints. No more crushing utility bills for the hardworking citizens. Their paychecks would fuel dreams, not debts. But shadows lurked in the corridors of power. Madame Robot commanded an evil cabal from her hidden lair. Citizens must never be sovereign, she hissed to her minions, her voice of mechanical echo. She thrived on control, feeding off the enslavement of the masses through endless dependencies. To thwart the free energy revolution, she plotted a grand deception, a fake alien invasion. Hologram projectors dotted the city skylines. Low-orbit satellites beamed illusions from the stars, and drones disguised as extraterrestrial crafts bristled with direct energy weapons. Lasers poised to obliterate every quantum archway and Tesla tower. One day, Patriot
I think it's a
Princess
new
picked
one.
up an encrypted transmission. With a flick of her wrist, she decoded the secret conversation between Madame Robot and her cabal crew. "Blow them all sky high," Madame Robot commanded. "The magnets, the coils, erase Tesla's legacy. Then unleash the holograms. Project the blue beam. This will terrify the citizens into submission," snarled Madame Robot. Patriot Princess's heart raced. "How can I stop Madame Robot forever?" she whispered. "I can't just tell the world. They have to see her for the monster she is, an evil criminal bent on keeping humanity powerless and enslaved." Under the cover of darkness, she infiltrated Madame Robot's fortified lair. Patriot Princess was hidden safely in the shadows, cloaked with invisibility thanks to her high-tech ether suit. Patriot Princess activated her recording device. There, she recorded everything. Madame Robot rallied her crew. "Invade DC with the fake alien ships. Lasers ready. Vaporize those free energy devices. The masses will cower, begging for our control. Ha ha ha," laughed Madame Robot. Evidence in hand, Patriot Princess rushed to the White House. Bursting into the Oval Office, she presented the recording device to the president. "Sir, I have undeniable proof of Madame Robot's evil plan. Requesting permission to hack the evening news. Let the people see the truth with their own eyes, sir." "Roger that, Princess. All hands on deck," confirmed the president. Next, she assembled her secret ops team, hackers, engineers, and allies. In a daring cyber assault, they breached the airwaves just as the sun dipped below the horizon. Screens across the nation flickered, interrupted by the broadcast. Madame Robot caught red-handed, her voice booming with glee. "Ha ha ha, all assets deployed. Whatever it takes. I'm excited to scare the public senseless and seize full control of the masses. Ha ha." The revelation hit like a thunderbolt. Eyes widened in living rooms, offices, and streets. The masses awakened. Fury ignited into unity. Protests swelled. Demands for justice thundered through the Capitol. Madame Robot's plans crumbled as her hologram projectors were dismantled, her drones were grounded. She was surrounded by an empowered populace. She was arrested and her cabal was scattered to the winds. With the threat vanquished, the free energy grid activated. Quantum archways pulsed with brilliant light. Tesla coils sang a symphony of liberation. Cities across America glowed anew, powered by infinite, costless energy. The people rejoiced. Fireworks lit the skies, parades filled the streets, toasts raised to the sovereignty reclaimed. Patriot Princess stood humbly on the Capitol steps, gazing at the illuminated horizon. In her heart, she whispered gratitude to God, her country, and her unwavering team. Freedom's light would shine forever. Godspeed.
Dark to light. That was good. What do you guys think? Patriot Princess. Okay, I got an 18-minute one from her. That's a new one. We'll play that there in a little bit. Thanks so far, Carol.
Soak it.
3 minutes.
This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, April 10th, 2026. President says routine information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Protests in Ireland continue to grow. American logistical flights continue into Middle East during ceasefire. Maritime traffic in Persian Gulf remains stagnant. Beginning with international events, In the Middle East, the ceasefire remains tenuous. Last night, Kuwait reported attacks being conducted by several drones. Statements of condemnation were issued by government officials attributing the attacks to Iran. However, the Iranians claim that they haven't conducted any attack. Separately, American logistical resupply efforts continue with a notable increase in military flights moving cargo into the Middle East. Merchant traffic through the Strait of Hormuz remains severely restricted, with a total of 12 vessels, including local traffic, transiting the waterway since the ceasefire came into effect 2 days ago. This afternoon, Kevin Hassett, the director of the National Economic Council, indicated that the timeline for expecting the Strait of Hormuz to be fully opened is roughly 2 months. On the home front, in Washington, D.C., last night, First Lady Melania Trump hosted a surprise press conference in which she read a statement pertaining to the Jeffrey Epstein network. She confirmed that she had once emailed Ghislaine Maxwell, but denied that a relationship existed. She also called on Congress to act regarding the Epstein investigation, specifically via the testimony of victims against Epstein's network. In California, early this morning, the residence of Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was targeted by an arsonist who threw a Molotov device at the front gate of his residence. The suspect initially fled on foot but was arrested soon after the incident. The suspect has not yet been identified. Analyst comments for this wire. In Ireland, protests continue as before nationwide, with most major roadways remaining shut down sporadically for a few hours each day due to protests. Whitegate Refinery remains a main focal point for protests, which have become substantial in size. However, under the surface of the protests, tensions are bubbling, and in Ireland, no political issue is ever as simple as it seems at face value. One complicating factor which has contributed to the growing civil unrest has been statements made by Ireland's Deputy Police Commissioner, Shauna Coxon, who has been the face of the police response to the demonstrations. Her statements themselves have been fairly standard by European standards, threatening all number of consequences for the protesters if they don't open up roadways. However, one delicate contention that isn't being conveyed by the media is not necessarily what is being said, but who is saying it. Coxon herself is not Irish, she's Canadian. Having built up a policing career in Toronto under Trudeau's government, she was instrumental in the now infamous crackdown on Canadian truckers years ago, who protested for different reasons but formed similar networks as the Irish are now forming. Now, she is the Deputy Police Commissioner for Operations in Ireland. Considering that a huge part of these protests is now becoming more of an Irish nationalism effort, what seems like a very small detail is actually becoming more important. A Canadian who does not have an Irish accent, with a degree in mass surveillance wielding power over ethnic Irishmen, is not being taken very well. As a result, what started as a small protest about taxes on agricultural diesel is becoming a much more widespread series of issues. Considering that as of this afternoon, no progress has been made to address the concerns of demonstrators, this could lead to a much more substantial state of unrest over the next few days. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, April 10th, 2026.
Hey, the Wire Channel. I'm going to play that important one I got from Melania.
This is not speculation. This is not theory. This is a five-alarm fire screaming right now
14 minutes.
because the First Lady's speech this week just triggered the final condition on their kill list. If you thought the Samson option was the scariest thing you'd ever heard, you haven't seen that assassination ladder yet. We have the bombshell documents, we have the timeline, and it's already in motion. This isn't just an attack on one woman, it's the final signal that the shadow government has declared open season on America itself. The Republic is being executed in real time, and the American people are the last ones being told. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. Let's be crystal clear. The Epstein files have exposed everything we've been screaming about for years. Elite pedophilia, cannibalism, and industrial-scale child trafficking at the highest levels of power. They called us crazy, they smeared us, they tried to bury us. Now, we stand completely vindicated. But this isn't about us, it's about the victims. It's about the children still trapped in these networks. It's about the future of humanity itself. And here's the cold, brutal truth. We've only seen 1% of the files. The vast majority of the perpetrators remain redacted, shielded by a massive coordinated cover-up. Here's Representative Nancy Mace.
But you would be shocked, Pierce, that some of the names that I have seen that came across the DOJ in emails that the DOJ is protecting. And we're talking about people on both sides of the aisle. We're talking about famous people, rich people, people in power, prime ministers, former presidents, et cetera, media personalities that are named in these files. And that's why I say this is going to go down as the greatest cover-up, one of the greatest cover-ups in American history. And I don't believe the girls are actually going to see justice, which is why it's going to be incumbent upon people like Democrat Ro Khanna, Republican Thomas Massey. I'm a Republican myself who's willing to name some of those names in our committee work, on the floor of the House, whatever it takes, because this kind of thing cannot continue to go on. I want to give the next girl hope that when she comes forward, she won't be shamed. Her life won't be smeared in the Daily Mail or whatever the next press, is going to do. What they do to female victims and to children is disgusting, because they're protecting their rich and powerful friends. But you'd be surprised, shocked even at some of the names in the file.
When the full names finally drop, governments will fall. Institutions will collapse. Hollywood will be burnt to the ground. And the mainstream media will be finished off for good. Their lying tongues excised from their mouths.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything.
This is the biggest cover-up in human history, and it's still running at full throttle. Now, hacked and released Mossad files have just painted a target on First Lady Melania Trump's back.
Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth.
We had no heads up on this. We're not getting any information from them now, including whether or not the president was aware she would be making this statement. It's unclear to us if she is reacting to something or that's already happened, already come out, or getting ahead of a story that might be about to drop. We don't really know.
When she shocked the world and went public, admitting she knows Epstein was not working alone and that he was a pawn in a much larger game, she put herself in a very dangerous position. And according to the Mossad files, this places her in their crosshairs.
So this is a
How's this, you guys?
existential crisis, the very future of this country and the world. And spanking Trump got him back on course a little bit, but now he's doubled down and coming back at us out of frustration and using us as a distraction from his wife, that looking at the tea leaves and the angles, she may not publicly divorce him, but everything I'm seeing looks like she just flew the coop because she knows what's coming. I think that's a safe bet. I think you all agree with me. It's not just gut level. It's thousands of data points. And I'm sad for Trump on that. But he bet on the wrong horse. He bet on the Israel blackmail.
Before we expose the damning Mossad files that prove they're targeting the FLOTUS, why are Israel terrified of Melania Trump going off script? Melania Trump got her start modeling for Donald's close friend, Paolo Zampoli, a man deeply tied to Epstein's world. In a vicious divorce, Zampoli allegedly had Trump weaponize ICE to deport his ex-wife, Amanda Ungaro. Now, Amanda is set to drop a tell-all interview this weekend, and she's ready to expose everything about Melania, Epstein, Trump, and Zampoli. That surprise press conference Melania held this week, it wasn't random. With the walls closing in and Israel now in full panic mode, assassination season has officially begun. Pam Bondi is already in their crosshairs. She got sloppy, bit off far more than she could chew, tried to play both sides, and now the very machine she protected is turning on her. When we return, we're diving straight into the hacked files that spell out exactly what's coming next, the precise timeline that triggers, and who else is marked for elimination. We've been right about every single piece of this nightmare leading up to this moment. And what you're about to hear could be the difference between stopping this coup d'etat or watching the Republic fall. Stay with me. It turns out that the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not about obsessing over carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. The way to maintain a healthy weight as well as increase your energy levels and live a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific and simple switch that you can flip on your body to flush out all of those unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry calls this process the caloric bypass. He has seen thousands of people who have activated this process in their bodies dramatically improve their health. The people who've tried this find that their fat melts away, their energy levels improve like they were young again, and many of their health problems just simply vanish. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. He says that he feels younger and healthier today than when he was 40 years old. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch it and learn more by visiting thehealthyfat.com/TPV. Please click the link below this video to learn his secret technique for free at thehealthyfat.com/TPV. Pam Bondi sat down, read the Epstein files in full, was caught on hidden camera twice, admitting they contain tens of thousands of hours of VIPs abusing children, and then publicly declared that no prosecutions can happen.
I should have fast forwarded,
none.
but
after completing the cover-up, Trump fired her.
Do that.
How convenient. Suddenly, she no longer has to honor her subpoena to Congress. No testimony, no answers, no accountability. Want to know why? Because Pam Bondi isn't just covering for the elite. She's in on it. And the chickens are coming home to roost.
Oh, hi, Pam Bondi. What are you doing with Keith Frankel? I have a couple questions for you, Pam. How much were the acting lessons? Do the Epstein victims that you cried with know that you're friends with Keith Frankel? Why was Keith Frankel and Jeffrey Epstein talking about body boxes on February 10th, 2010? You've read the files, so I'm sure you can tell us. If Jeffrey Epstein was such a monster, Pam, how come Keith went to his house so many times? One thing that was mentioned in the Epstein files is children being trafficked out of Ukraine. Keith Frankel and his family run a children's home that takes children out of Ukraine. You need to cut the shit, Pam. You need to cut the shit.
Epstein wasn't the only Israeli intelligence asset running blackmail ops, but he was their most successful one. They thought they had the golden ticket. Compromat on US presidents, the royal family, top politicians, CEOs, the entire global power structure. Now, it's all collapsing in real time. So they're doing two things: distract the world with war in Iran and clean up every loose end. According to files from the Iranian hack team that breached FBI Director Kash Patel's emails, files that were conveniently stored on an Israeli intelligence server, the Israelis have a detailed assassination plan for the First Lady of the United States. Conditions included. And this week, when Melania went public and revealed she knows far more than she was ordered to say, she crossed the final line. She just put herself directly in the crosshairs.
There's an assassination ladder now. It's not theory anymore, it's operational. Tiered, protocols cleared at the highest levels. They work their way up quietly, methodically, until the target is isolated. Right now, the First Lady is on that ladder. She's under their guns. They know what she has, information they consider existential. Not damaging, existential. If she's ever allowed to sit under oath, if she's ever protected long enough to speak, it ends. She won't make it that far. They've already decided. Because if the First Lady exposes the Epstein links to Israel, the real ones, beyond the island, beyond the flights, into the intelligence pipelines, the compromat, the influence operations that were never about one financier, it's over for Israel.
As the net tightens and Israel squirms, assassination season has officially begun. Representative Anna Paulina Luna names 4 Epstein co-conspirators, all women, who will be called to testify to Congress. How many will make it to the hearing?
There's a list of individuals who did engage in trafficking, were given these plea deals, and I'm going to name those individuals right now. The first one would be Leslie Groff. The second one, Sarah Kellen. The third one, Nadia Markova. And the fourth one, Adriana Ross. All of these women engaged in the trafficking of minors as adults. They were working and complicit with Jeffrey Epstein's operation. And in my opinion, they are not to be given victim status because they did partake in harming young girls. I remember seeing in some of the files, some of these girls were, as young as 10, 11 years old and older. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but I did want to come and give an update.
The only way to stop them is to recognize the pattern, to study their real history, and to spread the truth to as many people as possible. And you need to keep yourself safe online. This is a red alert.
Henry.
If you're digging into dangerous topics online, you need to anonymize yourself immediately. The VPNs you thought were your shield, your last line of defense against government and corporate surveillance, have already been hijacked. One Tel Aviv-based company with a long history of distributing malware has quietly bought up nearly all of the biggest VPNs on the planet. ExpressVPN, CyberGhost, private internet access, the list goes on. And the people they hire, not random.
Yes, fine, Eagle, you're right. Might want to see the beginning, Kay, and everybody that coming in. I had a couple good ones here at the beginning.
Techies, not privacy activists, but veterans of Israel's most notorious intelligence units, Unit 8200, the cyber warfare arm behind some of the world's most advanced spying tools, and the Dovden unit, infiltration experts turned executives. That's why in 2025, VP.net was built to solve this urgent problem, using zero trust architecture and next-gen cryptography to shut their digital lives forever. It's not another VPN with clever marketing. It's trustless by design, meaning even if they wanted to spy on you, they couldn't. Even if somebody holds a gun to their head, they can't hand anything over. Built on zero-knowledge cryptography, Intel SGX secure enclaves, and open-source code you can audit yourself, it's mathematically impossible to log or leak your data. No Mossad backdoors, no compromat, no hidden hands, just pure verifiable privacy. This is how we fight back, not with fear, but with technology that works for us, not against us. Go to vp.net/TPV and close Big Brother's eyes for good.
Okay, I thought that was an important one to play. Patriot Princess had 2 videos out. We played the first one. It was good, you guys, for coming in. I got an 18-minute one with her. We'll play in a couple of videos. We'll play one of the Trisha and Penny, and then we'll get to that one.
That can shift your future.
Pete Buttigieg, little mayor, little guy who probably still has aspirations of running for president one day. Little Mayor Pete got out there on CNBC, and let me tell you, he's just no match for Joe Kernan. I mean, you can say what you want about CNBC, and there's a lot of libs there, but for the most part, I do think that the business media is a little bit more savvy about all this stuff because, at the end of the day, it's about money, right? So you have to be smarter. You can't just be a political reporter. They're not so smart, by the way. Political, but not so smart. Joe Kernan is a smart guy. And this little Pete, Mayor Pete, got on there and started to talk about affordability and inflation, how bad this is. And he got kind of handed a new one, for lack of a better term, by my friend Joe. And Joe was like, yeah, excuse me, you guys had 21% inflation. I mean, whoa, okay, 21% inflation. We're going to have a little bit higher oil here temporarily. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay. I know it doesn't feel good, right, for anybody in the interim, but ultimately it's going to be okay. And Pete's just glomming onto this, just like all those people on CNN and everywhere else. I mean, CPI came in a little bit hotter, but still it was like relatively tame. I mean, honestly, this wasn't like anything that was a shocker. And still, when you compare CPI today versus CPI under Joe Biden, where you're upwards of 9%, in any given month, and you're lucky if you're up 7%. I mean, like I really wouldn't worry about something with a 3 handle on it. But let me show you this, because this was a little bit of what we call fireworks.
There's no obvious way out now, but I want to make sure that this ends in a way that, first of all, our economy can recover, that we're not paying so much for gas. I mean, right now, oil's $100, jet fuel's $200. Gas is over $4. Diesel's like $5.50.
You averaged 380 under Biden for 4 years.
Yeah, and when we left, inflation was lower than it is today.
You accounted for 21.5% pricing.
This president took
Inflation
rate.
Inflation.
This president
It's
took the
2.7%.
inflation rate up.
It's 2.7%.
It's more than 3% year on year. You saw the numbers just come out. It's more than 3% year on year.
Okay.
Isn't it?
PCE,
Am I
the core,
mistaken?
It is.
Sorry?
The math is direct. The math is the math.
Look, it
fluctuates these months from 2.7 to 3%.
It's higher than when he got here,
It's
Joe.
not 9%.
His central campaign promise was he was going to take inflation and drive it down, and instead he took inflation
not 9%.
and it's up.
I thought in the Fed
It was
obviously,
3 when he got here, and now it's more.
Well,
It
it's
could
around-
not be simpler than that.
It's around 3, and we're involved in a war.
He
with
said on day one it would go down. He came in on day one, and now it's up.
It's up to 3%. It was 21.5% price
promised
increases
it would go
over
down,
4
and it didn't.
years. Over 4 years, it was 21.5%.
He promised it would go down.
Democrats own the affordability.
Listen to me.
Period.
They so own it. They so own it. You can sit there and you can tell us, oh, we're worried about this 3%. Listen, you guys drove it up 21%. And Joe's totally right. And Pete, I don't think Mayor Pete is all that smart and doesn't actually understand inflation nor economics. And so I would just advise him not to go on CNBC again, or at least not on that show. Okay. Go on Bloomberg. Okay. Go on Bloomberg. You'll have more fun, Mayor Pete, on Bloomberg. And, you might actually be able to talk that kind of talk. The media is always wrong. And I want to just emphasize that once again, because don't do what the media tells you to do, because as an investor, you will never make out well. It's partly why I started 76 Research with my friend Rob Horton, who's a money manager for 20 some odd years. And we don't manage your money, but we tell you everything that we're investing in, everything that we love in our top model portfolios, 10 to 15 stocks in each one of those. They have done so extraordinarily well. I really encourage you to go and look at those when you have a moment at 76research.com. Again, 76research.com. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this show.
Hey, that's the first one. We got one of the bennies in, and then we'll get back to another Patriot video.
Dad's money! My dad's money!
Fight.
Dad's money! My dad's money!
That's a funny one.
Here's what patriots do. No matter what, you stand and fight. And if your country is in a bad spot, then you fight for your country. This is my only country. I don't have an allegiance to any other. I don't share any other passports. I don't have a home anywhere else. And this is where I'm going to raise my children. This is where I'm going to die. This is where I was born. This is where my grandpappy signed up for the army. And you know what? I'm not going to flee. I'm going to run away when things get tough. You could tell a lot about somebody, by the way, when things get tough, where they go and what they do. Hunter Biden's fled the country. Hunter Biden does not live in America anymore. Hunter Biden, as soon as things got tough, bailed, literally bailed, because he probably couldn't make bail. Hunter Biden is quietly bolted from the U.S. and is living overseas as he claims he's $17 million in debt and can't pay his lawyers. Hunter Biden quietly pulled up stakes and left the country. Oh, no. Made claims he's $17 million in debt. He's living overseas. Daily Mail can reveal. The disclosure came in a new legal filing by the Barry Coburn, by his attorney, Barry Coburn, on April 6th in Washington, D.C., where the first son is being sued by his former attorney. It's always great when that happens, by the way. It's always the best people. The court filing bluntly states Mr. Biden lives abroad and argues that the former first son cannot afford to pay his outstanding legal fees. The law firm defended Hunter Biden from his tax and gun crime cases that he lost as well as other legal battles, but claims he failed to pay bills substantially in excess of $50,000. Hunter Biden claimed he was $17 million in debt. Yikes. Coburn declined to comment to the Daily Mail, did not specify where in the world Hunter Biden was. But he's not living in America, they said. Oh, no. Last year, Hunter was spotted spending time in South Africa, the birthplace of his wife. The couple were seen a trip to Cape Town. Donald Trump's took away his Secret Service when these photos were outed. There you go. Here's Hunter Biden. Here's his prop kid that he uses everywhere. And yes, gross, terrible. He was pictured in an affluent neighborhood of Sea Point. Parked a rented Toyota, far cry from the chauffeured armored SUV, which he was accustomed to. There's as many as 18 people on the detail, which is ridiculous, Trump posted on social media. And then he ripped away the Hunter Biden Secret Service detail. But you don't know, you have no idea if he's in Cape Town or if he's in South Africa. Who knows? Funny that he's falling in love with an apartheid state. Isn't that interesting? I fallen madly in love with Cape Town. It's the most beautiful city in the world. Some would beg to differ. Here's Hunter Biden. A recent photo shows him on Easter with the rest of the Biden family in California. Wow, looks nice. What a nice pad they got there. He's got a pool in the back. And got some videos of Hunter Biden on his laptop in the pool. You going to show those at Easter for your creepy-ass family? A bunch of creepy degenerates. Look at this. Boy, where's the law firm? The law firm could have just gotten them all here. Who's paying for this? This is expensive. Whose house is this? Look at all these dirty degenerates. Look at him. Boy, oh boy. Jill Biden boozing, he's slamming the wine. What's going on here? You could have just got him there. Hunter Biden has a plan to make all of his money back, though. Hunter Biden is planning on a cage fight with Don Jr. and with Eric Trump. Fighting President Trump's children in a cage fight now. Don Jr.'s and Eric Trump, 48 and 42 respectively. Hunter Biden is 56. Hunter Biden has crackhead energy. So I don't know if it would be a fair fight. Does Hunter Biden get to bring his laptop to the fight? Can he use that as a weapon, right? Like a chair. It's like his dirty laptop from hell. Eric Trump and Don Jr. I know him, right? Eric Trump's really freakishly tall. Not as tall as Barron, I guess, but he's like 6'5". Don Jr. is an outdoorsman, big time, hiker, and neither of them are in bad shape, right? Big time UFC guys. I'd be for this, though. I'd be totally for this. Let's go ahead and listen.
Guys, Hunter Biden here. I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival Tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix, and then we go to San Diego, and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it, 100% in, if he can pull it off. And if he can't, I'm still coming. And I think he's got a lot of other surprises up his sleeve, a lot of fun. And I hope I can see you guys out there. You can get tickets online right now, and I'll see you out on tour.
Oh, okay. Channel 5 Carnival and Talent Show. What the hell is this? Moderated by Hunter Biden. Special guests and musical performances. Whoa. Okay. Is he going to do a cage match? I'm in favor of this, by the way. Hunter Biden challenges Don and Eric Jr. to a cage match. This is like what our ancestors would want. Hunter wouldn't even be able to pass a piss test, says the White House. 56-year-old Hunter Biden challenges Trump kids to the cage match. He looked better when he was on drugs. Listen. If you want to go back to the whole have the lords and the kings have their children fight to the death for nobility and honor, cool. Those are the ancient times. This is the way of the world, how it was meant to be. I think we'd have a better country if more people had their kids, more leaders, their children felt like they had to fight for the country, fight for their nobility. Hunter Biden, not happy with the Democrat Party, obviously, had a complete and total meltdown on the same show with this dude who does this Channel 5 show. Anyway, if you go to Hunter Biden's, I don't know about the cage match, but if you go to this talent show, this is what you'll probably hear from Hunter Biden about the state of the Democrat Party. And you know what? The crash out is delightful. Here it is.
Him. I don't have to be nice. George Clooney is not a actor. I don't know what he is. He's a brand. I agree with Quentin Tarantino. You. What do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times? And by the way, and God bless him, me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Okay, that was one on Benny there. Now for Patriot Princess.
Money of every country. You see, it's all about the money. What if I told you this elite group was the
Is this for the bad one? You want me to replay it? I'll try again here. Let me know. Here we go.
The currency and money of every country. You see, it's all
You see
about
it
the money.
now?
What if I told you this elite group was the three city-state empire? The Bank of London handling the money, the Vatican influencing with religion, and Washington, D.C. with the military flex. See, it's all about the money. When you have all the money, you can control the schools, the universities, the medical, the media, etc. And what if I told you this small elite group, like a cabal, even controlled the world crises? And you can see the patterns in history. Every time there's a world crisis, this group has looked at it like an opportunity. What if I told you that some of these world crises weren't even real? In fact, they were created by this small group. I mean, some of them even said they saw it coming, like Dr. Fauci, Bill Gates. And how and why were the COVID tests created in 2015? How did they know what to test for? How did they know what was coming? What if I told you this elite group creates some of the crises in order to gain more power, like 9/11? The airport security completely changed after 9/11. World crises are perfect for this small group because then it centralizes the power. So what's the next world crisis then? Yes, we had COVID, but what's coming next? Well, it's all about the money, right? Well, let's look at America's financial balance sheet, the net international investment position. How much of our stuff do other countries own versus how much of other countries' stuff do we own? And why is that important? Because if other countries own most of your stuff, then they have more influence on the value of your stuff if they decide to sell it. I mean, in a conflict situation, you don't want other countries to own a majority of your stuff. So right now, the number of US net international investment position is negative 87% GDP. To put this in perspective, and to show you the patterns of these world crisis events and how it allows them to take more control of the money, look at where we were at after the first Gulf War, negative 7%. After the second Gulf War, negative 12%. After the 2008 financial crisis, negative 15%. And after 2008, things escalated. We kept selling assets. We sold our stocks, our real estate, our treasury bonds. Who were we selling ourselves to? China, Britain, and Japan. And so that's why today, technically, other countries own over $70 trillion in US dollar assets. And 9.4 trillion of that is US Treasury bonds alone. So now think about this. China, Britain, and Japan are also the most dependent on oil passing through the Hormuz Strait. But that is obviously closed. And so these places need oil. And oil is priced in US dollars. So they need US dollars. What are they going to do? Sell their US assets, sell their US treasuries. And look, foreign central bank holdings of US Treasury at the New York Fed is the lowest it's ever been since 2012 right now. In just 4 weeks, tens of billions of dollars are gone. And that's not good because when foreign countries sell treasuries, treasury yields go up. And the cost of financing America's over $40 trillion debt goes up as well. I mean, look at the 10-year treasury. It was in the threes when this war started, but now it's went way up in just a matter of 4 weeks. I mean, we're headed towards a debt spiral. Is that what Q means by D-Day? So the more expensive it is to borrow, the bigger the deficit. And bigger deficits mean more borrowing. And more borrowing means higher rates. And basically means like the American dream is just gone and our kids are screwed in the future, which leads to more control of this small group in charge of the money. That's why I'm saying it's all about the money. Money equals control. It buys power and wealth and countries and people. All right, side note. Meanwhile, while this cabal three-city-state empire is controlling every country and their currency and the money of the whole world, they're committing crimes against humanity as well. But what if I told you, just like this small elite group, the three-city-state empire, there was a small elite group, an alliance of good guys? What if this elite group of good guys, this alliance, has been secretly taking out these evil cabal rulers of the three-city-state empire, and they have proof of their crimes against humanity? And what if this good guy secret alliance group has special Tesla technology from Nikola Tesla himself? And what if this small elite group of good guys had the best interests of the American people and the people of the world? I mean, look at what Elon Musk said. There will come a point where AI will do everything and no job will be needed. What if things get worse and it looks hopeless and America goes into this debt death spiral? What if there's a full stop on the world economy? And what if there's time? What if there's time for we the people to assemble, to connect, to rest and restore, and also have a baby boom and learn about what's really been going on with this small elite cabal group of three-city-state empire controlling the world and currency and everything? I mean, think about it. This cabal group, three-city-state empire, wanted full control. They wanted us busy, trying to survive, trying to pay our bills, barely surviving, poisoning us with
the
food, the water, the media.
In a while.
I mean, look at birth rates, the lowest they've ever been. And look at this. The U.S. is almost $40 trillion in debt, and it's going up faster than the economy. And now with yields going.
You guys want me to stop it? Okay. No. Yeah, I'm not going to stop it.
Going up, the cost of that debt is growing faster and faster. How do we solve that? What if we find someone else to hold that debt? What if we distribute that debt to the entire world, but not through inflation, right? Because the only way that works is if you can export your assets, and that only works if other countries want your assets. What if the next distribution phase is not through the institutions, it's something different? What if the best way to distribute this debt is already in everybody's pocket? What if it's a Q phone? What if the best way?
Yeah, I'll stop it. Sorry about that one, you guys. Okay, we got Schumer for two short clips, 5 minutes.
Iran still has its nuclear stockpile, its nuclear ambitions. Iran still has its nuclear stockpile. Its nuclear ambitions are still unchecked, if not accelerated. And finally, American credibility. The nations of the world are furious at Trump. The Europeans, the Asians, even the Middle Eastern allies. They say, what the hell is he doing?
What the moron has to say.
And the United States' diplomatic position and credibility in the world is dramatically worse because of this war. So just in summary, this war has made us worse off today than before it started. The war made us worse in terms of control of the Strait of Hormuz. The war made us worse in terms of the strength of the Iranian regime. The war made us worse in terms of high gas prices. The war made us worse because Iran's nuclear ambitions have been unchecked. And the war made us worse because American credibility is down the drain.
Wow.
Schumer's being Schumer. All right. We'll go back to being getting Vinny videos here. Oh wait, let's play one of our favorites.
assistance right through your app. So I would have been out of $1,968 and some change if it was not for my bank.
That
doesn't make
any sense. And I can show you the
transaction.
This was just yesterday, March 19th, 2026.
So do you ever check your receipt and immediately feel your blood pressure start going up? Like, wait a minute, I didn't buy that. Why am I being charged for this? And how did my total magically jump to that amount? Because in today's video, we're taking a look at some people posting their receipts, and we're looking at their real situations where they're paying for things that they didn't actually buy or things that they didn't even realize they were paying for. And the worst part is that some of these charges are so subtle, you don't even know about it until you've already paid for it.
If you return stuff on Amazon, you need to be checking your account, because I returned something 2 weeks ago to Kohl's and I randomly just got charged. I haven't placed an order on Amazon in about a week. So when I get text messages on my phone when I place orders with my credit card, I just got a text message that I placed an order at 10 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, that's funny because I'm on a no buy right now. I already finished my Christmas shopping. We're good. So I check my account. I'm scrolling. There's nothing there. And then I'm looking at my invoices too to make sure maybe it was like an old one or something. I don't know. Wouldn't even make sense. So obviously I called Amazon and they told me that it was from a return that they never got. That's not my fault. I went to Kohl's and I returned it. Just because you didn't get it because it got lost in the sauce does not mean that it is not that I didn't return it. So either way, they understood. Amazon was a homie on that one. They refunded it. So, but just letting you know that check your shit, because if you are frequently ordering and you do get text messages on your phone or you don't get text messages, I would have had no idea that I got recharged for these $40 leggings that I returned. So just so you know.
So something like this, I'm actually very guilty of. Usually I'll just put things on a credit card because I love points. And then I just pay off the credit card at the end of the month. I rarely look at statements. So I am guilty of this. Something like this would get me for that reason. I don't have like text coming to my phone when something is charged or whatever like she does. That's actually a really good idea, because if you see a charge come through and you're like, I haven't bought anything, then that could be, your red flag to go make sure everything is fine. The other problem here is you're trusting a multi-billion-dollar company to do what it needs to do and not let anything fall through the cracks. That's another big mistake, because Amazon is massive. They deal with millions of dollars in returns every single year. You don't think anything's going to fall through the cracks? And that's not even technically an Amazon problem. That sounds more like a Kohl's problem. I don't know exactly how that partnership works. Like I've gone with people who have returned Amazon items to a Kohl's drop site. So I know that Kohl's works in tandem with Amazon to pick up returns, but that sounds like a Kohl's problem. That sounds like Kohl's completely dropped the ball on shipping her return back, and then she was charged for it. The way that the Amazon system works, if your return gets scanned in, you get your refund, you think the transaction is over. You don't actually think about the fact that you could be charged for that item again if Amazon doesn't actually receive the return back. So this is actually really good for us to know if you did not know that that could happen, so that you could be watching your Amazon account and making sure that you're not paying for something that you already returned. This person says, Amazon is quickly becoming worse than Temu. No comment, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm thinking. I canceled Prime because 4 out of 5 returns were charged, totaling $178.16. Amazon has the products and the money. So it looks like this has been happening to other people as well. They just did this to me. And the funny part is that the item that they said they didn't get was in a return with other items that they got just fine. That's a little bit suspicious, right? When you return multiple items and the other items get credited back and not one of
this
them,
was a
that's a little
receipt
weird.
problem,
Yes,
right,
this
Dave?
happens
What do you guys think of this
frequently.
one?
So I'm coming out of the Max, and I didn't get anything, but I was taking back some yellow towels that I had purchased last week. And I thought, let's get something different, blah, 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 blah. So now, mind you, I had 2 towels, 2 face towels, 2 hand towels. And when I looked at my receipt, that's why I got a bunch of receipts here now, a bunch of tags here now, because when she refunded me, something else came on the receipt up on the screen. And I was like, well, what was that? That looked like a charge. And she was like, oh no.
Progressive Commercial Insurance offers affordable small business protection. You can receive discounts on commercial auto insurance for safe drive.
I charged you for something that was already on the screen from the previous person that was standing here. Didn't know they could do that. I thought once somebody left, it cleared out. So y'all just be mindful. Watch your receipts, because it could have been.
Yeah, so that has actually happened to me before. I didn't actually purchase the item like she says she did, but I remember there was one time I walked up to a register and it was some sort of closeout store. I can't remember if it was like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, one of those. It might have been Ross, actually. I remember walking up with like 1 or 2 items, and I noticed that the amount on the, not the total on the amount, but the number of items on the screen was like 4 items. And I'm like, I didn't buy that many things. And I looked, and the very top one was an item I didn't even have. It's like she had scanned something for somebody and they decided not to buy it, and she didn't clear the screen. So had I not caught it, I would have paid for an item I wasn't even buying. And that kind of thing is really just a simple mistake. The cashiers just need to make sure that they clear the transaction before they start ringing up somebody new. But mistakes do happen. People do get distracted. And so you really have to do your due diligence to watch and make sure that when they start ringing stuff up, they're starting with 0 and there's nothing already on that screen. Hey, you guys, I just wanted to pop in here really quick to let you know that I have launched a brand new body cam reaction channel.
So you said you have a knife up your...
Yes, I do. You want to come get it? So if you've been enjoying the body cam reaction videos that I've posted over here on this channel, I'm going to start posting all new videos over on that channel with the same kind of energy and even more chaos. You'll find the link to my newest channel down in the video description. So I would really, really appreciate it if you would go give it a follow, because there's new videos over there right now.
So for anybody still ordering from Amazon, consider this a warning. Please share this with your young adult kids who get to order things from Amazon off your account. You know how you now have options to buy now or add to cart? Tell your kids, never click the buy now button. You skip all of the breakdown and costs. You just automatically get charged the amount. So whatever the amount is that you saw shopping through Amazon, you're in your mind thinking that's what you're going to be charged. But you need to be super careful. Add it to your cart. Now, this was a product I was going to buy for $24. I want you to look at the shipping and the handling. This was just yesterday, March 19th, 2026. And if you click, if your 20-year-old or 18-year-old clicks buy now thinking, oh, it's going to be $24, maybe they'll add a couple of dollars on for shipping, you would have been hit with this $145 charge. I was getting ready to purchase $108 outside plastic rocking chairs. Great price. Look at the shipping costs, $159. So do not click on the buy now button, because you're going to be in a world of hurt if you didn't notice that all those extra shipping charges were just slapped on it.
That is a really good tip, because Amazon has made it extremely simple to just get your item faster. Because I don't want to say, this is going to sound really funny, but I don't want to say it's too much work to go through the checkout process of the shopping cart, but they did simplify it. And they say, all you have to do is just click one button and you've bought it. So if you see something you need, like if you're buying something like shipping tape or lip gloss or something, you go to Amazon, you see it, you just hit buy now. You're thinking, cool, done deal. I don't have to put it in my cart. I don't have to click through 4 different screens to confirm my payment, to confirm my shipping address, to confirm estimated delivery, yada, yada, yada. I can just click buy it now and I can go on with my life. They've simplified it. But in doing that, they have also skipped the steps where you can look at and confirm things like shipping. A lot of people think that just because you have Prime means that everything is free shipping, and it is absolutely not. And when you use the one-click buy now option, you bypass everything and you're saying you're committing to buy it. And those shipping and handling fees are not advertised on that listing page. That is confirmed in the shopping cart. So this is actually a really good tip. Stop using the one-click buy now option on Amazon, because you could absolutely get hit with unexpected fees, shipping, handling, and all of that. And it's not cheap. It's usually always over $100.
Hello. Yes. So I just left, and then I got charged 52. Right. That was a private transaction. Then I got a notification in my bank that I was charged 63. So I went back and I checked my receipt. My total pay was 52.60. But the transaction on the first transaction that came through the notification, it said 52.61. 10 minutes later, it says 63. I can show it to you.
No, that's fine. All you can do, if I go through my back office, they're going to take forever, honestly. But you can call your bank and dispute it. They will do it right away. We're not going to claim anything.
Yeah, but what was the reason for that?
I have no idea. So sometimes they act crazy. It's not that we do it. It's just the machine sometimes act crazy.
That doesn't make any sense. Though. Like if I already pushed no tip, I didn't even tip because honestly, today the service was just horrible.
So,
I'm not sure. You can check.
oh,
That was not the case. Like the case is that if I noticed, how many people don't notice that happens?
because when you charge, we have no control here. It goes through the machine, credit card machine. So sometimes they act crazy. That's why I cannot give you the perfect answer, But if they charge the tips, and then you can tell me, hey, this is my original receipt, your server charged me extra, but the tips and everything is in your control.
Yeah,
They cannot add it.
So that's what I'm saying. So why did it first go to her?
Right?
Correct. First it
One
was
for 52.61, and
then that one got canceled, and it went to 63. So that's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense. And I can show you the transaction because it's still pending.
yeah, go ahead. 28.
Oh, that shady. The machine, the system just acts crazy sometimes. Bullshit. You saw that he left no tip, canceled that transaction, ran it again, and added your own tip and hoped that he wouldn't notice. That is disgusting and that is shady. And this is just another thing that people have to watch out for if they're using their cards at restaurants or any place where there is a tip option. This kind of thing happens a lot. It's been a really long time since I've done a tipping video. I did do a tipping scam video. I think that was the most recent tipping video that I did. I'll link it up here in case you missed it. But yeah, it's just people will just add tips. They'll just add tips without your permission and just hope that you don't notice. The big mistake that these lying thieves make is that they get a little greedy.
Enjoy convenient banking in a welcoming space at the Capital One Cafe. Get help with your account or help yourself to fee-free ATMs. Part bank, part cafe, all in one place.
Do you support Israel and the Jewish people? Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed.
They get a little greedy. They add a little bit too much. Like if his total was $43 or whatever, and then they added like $1.50 or $2 or something, he might not have noticed. Hell, he might not have said anything. But going from 40 something to 60 something or 50 something to 60 something, someone's going to notice that, and it's going to be enough that they're going to say something. And then for her to just tell him that he should just do a chargeback with his bank, no, you can handle that. It's really super simple. Speaking from experience, it's really simple to cancel a card transaction and rerun it. Because if he never left, they haven't batched their credit cards for the day. And if you don't batch your credit cards through your payment software, you can easily go in and void a transaction and run it through again. And then it'll batch at the end of the night and the charge that he had pending will fall off. It is not difficult. And it is absolutely disgusting that she is telling him that he is just going to have to file a chargeback because their payment system gets crazy sometimes. Bullshit. They're stealing from him. Always watch the register wherever you go. Went to Subway with my girls and the tip was added on their end of the register even after I put no tip. That happened to me at a wing place. They told me the owner would take forever too, but I waited and they got nervous. So the one charge they gave me my $20 back. I mean, yeah, if you don't have anything to do, you could just stand there and be like, that's fine. I'll wait. $10 or $20 is worth my time. I'll wait while you fix it. I got nowhere to be.
So this is a quick story time, guys. How I was almost ripped off at Walmart for $1,968 and some change. This happened very recently. So I go to Walmart and I buy a bunch of stuff. My total came up to $492.05. I get to the checkout counter to pay for my items. They scan everything. We put it in a bag. As I go to pay for my order, there's a power glitch because of a thunderstorm outside. The power went off, but it came right back on within seconds. The guy had me to swipe my card. I swiped my card. It declined for $492.05. And at this time, I know damn well it shouldn't be declining because we know what's in our account, right? We ain't stupid. We know how much money we got. So he had me to swipe the card again and it declined. He had me to swipe the card a third time. The card declined. He rebooted the system, powered it off, powered it back on. I waited like maybe 3 or 4 agonizing minutes because we would have had to take all the stuff back out the bags, put it back on the conveyor, and rescan it everything again. So after 3 or 4 agonizing minutes waiting on that little system, the card reader to reboot, he had me to swipe my card again. And boom, it went through for $492.05. So something told me to click on my banking app that's on my phone to make sure everything was everything. I clicked on it. It showed 4 transactions within a few minutes apart of $492.05. So as the supervisors come over, I talk to the supervisors. I show them my phone, or I'm on my phone app. I said, there's 4 duplicate payments of this. So every time it declined, it actually went through. So now you got all 4 of these transactions for $492.05 pending. They said, oh no, keep your receipt, bring your receipt back tomorrow. We're going to fully refund it. Even the supervisor was right there, guys. She was right there. She said, don't worry about it. We're going to refund you. Don't lose the receipt. Now, it was raining outside. It was a bad storm. She said, don't get your receipt wet or nothing. So I took the receipt away and put it inside my wallet. I'm going to see if I can find it. And she says, do not lose the receipt under any circumstances. And I kept the receipt. And so she said, come back in 24 hours and we're going to refund you every single penny of the duplicate transactions. Here's the receipt right here.
It's not over.
So how good does it feel to save on your commercial auto insurance with Geico?
As good as having a great hammer.
24 hours later, I go back to Walmart. The same people are there. I stop off at the line of the sales associate who rung me up. And he addressed me as $492.05. I said, I'm glad that you remembered me. I said, I'm back to get my money. He said, well, you got to go to customer service. I go over to customer service. We got 2 supervisors over there talking to me saying, well, you got to call your bank. There's nothing that we can do about it. But the day before, those same people were around the register because I made a commotion about all the duplicate transactions that came out of my account. And they all said the same thing. But 24 hours after I go back to Walmart, everybody got a whole different story. The energy is off. Now they're saying Walmart's not going to pay you. We don't have anything to do with that. You have to take that up with your bank. Moral to the story is my bank did file a dispute. I got my money back refunded within 24 hours, even though all 4 of those transactions of $492.05 still posted. My bank paid me the money back. So I would have been out of $1,968 and some change if it was not from my bank. So guys, do not trust the word of those Walmart employees, man. When you go there telling you come back tomorrow, that's all a bunch of bull crap, man. Just go straight to your bank, man. Prove to them that it's a duplicate transaction and call it the day. And I went back to Walmart a day or two later and seen the same people. And they walked up, well, one of them walked up to me and said, hey, did your bank take care of you? I said, yes, they did, man, because you guys lied. You guys said that y'all would give me my money back if I came back within 24 hours, and y'all didn't give me nothing. Y'all said that y'all had nothing to do with the transactions, even though my card was swiped at y'all Walmart. So do not listen to those employees. I'm not saying that they're bad employees, but they need to retrain those people to know what the hell they're talking about, because I wasn't the only one who experienced this that day, and my bank told me the same thing. So if you ever in the store and there's a power glitch and it's thundering outside, do not swipe your damn debit card, because they're going to get you and they're going to give you a hard time about getting your money back, man. Let me know if you guys have experienced something like this or something similar, and I appreciate you guys watching.
Another really good tip. If there is a system glitch, if you see like a brownout or whatever, and card starts being declined, it could be a software issue. Yeah, those Walmart employees just wanted to get him out of the store. That's all they wanted to do. They just wanted to get him out of the store. They wanted to make it someone else's problem, and that's disgusting. Walmart should have been able to handle that. Again, it's the kind of situation where a manager or somebody that has access to the payment system would have been able to go into the system, see those charges, and void them. Why didn't they do that? Why did they send this guy on a wild goose chase to his bank to have his bank handle it when they could have taken care of it? Or if they didn't know how to take care of it, handle it. Or if in the moment they didn't know how they were going to handle it, tell him that. Don't make him go on a wild goose chase, coming back to Walmart, talking to people, trying to figure out how to handle the situation. You guys just made yourself look real bad, even worse. And Walmart does not need any help looking worse. Come back tomorrow sounds sketchy to me. I wouldn't have left Walmart until I received my money. I mean, yep. You should have called your bank immediately. They would have stopped the other transactions. That's actually a really good tip too. If he noticed in the moment on his phone app that there was all of those charges, he could have just called his bank, and maybe that would have been the better play. This person says, I work at Walmart. I told them that their machines were giving out people information because it did mine. Do not use your bank card. They act like they knew and don't care. Sounds about right. So the point of today's video is to shed some light on a problem, because you cannot trust corporations and retail locations to handle your money in the proper way. Errors happen, charges happen, whether they are intentional or not.
I've been back at 6. These are cute videos from TikTok.
Finally got him. We got him. We got him, and there is no getting out of it now. I'm talking about James Comey, and as a bonus, Hillary Rodham Clinton. All of the pieces are starting to come together. And just when people started getting comfortable, just when people started feeling like, oh, we're going to get away with this. No, they're not. Kash Patel came through in a big way. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated with Kash right now. I'll take our wins where we get them right now. Anybody who is on our side at all, I want to encourage. I want to keep going. But this was a huge story. So on my other channel, over on Out of the Darkness, a few weeks ago, I talked about how this whole government shutdown was going to bite the Democrats in the rear end. And I said that because I explained right now, the vast majority of the FBI upper echelon, they had lots of vacation time. They had lots of paid PTO. And so many of those guys, the old guard, they took off. They took their time. I am over the...
Okay, number 1 there.
Out of the Darkness. If you guys follow over there, you guys have already seen that. But this would be somewhat part two, digging a little bit deeper into this warning of the color guard revolution. And it seems to make more sense as you get deeper and as I get deeper into General Flynn's warning. His warning to Donald Trump is, Mr. President, you have to warn and let your people know that this is coming and going to be used. He's laid it out there. He laid it out that this was going to come as a false flag. And then it was going to be used, this event was going to be used as a way by which to divide the people and to cause an uprising. Now, we've already seen this work and or seen it tried, and it's been quashed several times. Is there any question why Donald Trump this term has decided to bring the National Guard in? It scared the left, and that is why the National Guard has been a sense of contention, because by bringing the National Guard in, he can actually quash a lot of these uprisings that they're trying to get started. So what are they saying? No more National Guard. You're not bringing them into this town, because if you bring them in, we can't use our forces. We can't use our radicalized lefties and our radicalized groups to start trouble. You can't use your National Guard. I did part one to this video over on Out of the Darkness. If you guys follow over there, you guys have already seen that. But this would be somewhat part two, digging a little bit deeper into this warning of the color guard revolution. And it seems to make more sense as you get deeper and as I get deeper into General Flynn's warning. His warning to Donald Trump is, Mr. President, you have to warn and let your people know that this is coming.
I think that was a replay, I think, wasn't it? They go through once already. Okay, last Q one.
Got him. We got him. We got him, and there is no getting out of it now. I'm talking about James Comey, and as a bonus, Hillary Rodham Clinton. All of the pieces are starting to come together. And just when people started getting comfortable, just when people started feeling like, oh, we're going to get away with this. No, they're not. Kash Patel came through in a big way. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated with Kash right now. I'll take our wins where we get them right now. Anybody who is on our side at all.
Okay, I think we're caught up with Q. We got two DJs. I don't think I played Derek on the 9th. I can't remember. I go.
Pardon the crickets over here, cicadas. They're a little loud, but at least I have an audience somewhere just in case. But today I'm going to talk about a little bit of country music. This is just strictly for the purpose of being able to tag artists on here, especially independent artists.
He wasn't talking anything serious. 5 minutes this one.
Begin transmission. Greetings. We are Anonymous, also known as the Collective. Today's date is Friday, April 10th, 2026. This is a message from the American soil that still believes in the First Amendment. Let this be heard in London, in Silicon Valley, and in every boardroom that just sold out your rights. Listen up. A Freedom of Information reply just dropped the mask. Ofcom, Britain's so-called speech regulator, fired off 197 Section 100 notices to American companies operating entirely on American soil. Not one went through the US-UK Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. Not one was routed through the Department of Justice. Not one saw a judge, a warrant, or a single shred of due process. They just emailed or mailed their censorship demands like it was a parking ticket. And here's the number that should make every American's blood run cold: only 2 US platforms, 4chan and Kiwi Farms, publicly told them to shove it. America, these companies sold out to the crown.
Okay, fine. I'll
That
check it
means a
out.
98% compliance
I'll
rate with
find it.
foreign orders that directly violate the First Amendment.
Okay.
To every tech executive who quietly folded, we see you. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Roblox, X, and the 193 other cowards who never made the headlines. You didn't just comply with local law. You rolled over for a British bureaucrat who couldn't be bothered to follow the treaty his own government signed. You let a foreign regulator dictate what Americans can read, post, and discuss on American servers, under American law. You didn't protect your users. You protected your quarterly numbers. You didn't stand for free speech. You stood for the path of least resistance. History will not be kind. Britain, we have a message for you and every redcoat descendant still dreaming of empire. Come to America and make us. Come try to enforce your Online Safety Act on our soil. Come send your Section 100 notices to servers flying the stars and stripes. Come threaten American companies with fines they'll never pay and orders they'll never obey. This time it may cost more than those redcoats. We already fought one revolution so a distant government couldn't tell us what we could say. We remember Lexington and Concord. We remember the Boston Tea Party. We remember that the tree of liberty is watered with the blood of tyrants, and sometimes with the ink of lawyers like Preston Byrne, who just forwarded your little FOIA mission straight to Congress, to Senator Schmidt, to Chairman Jordan, and to the State Department. You bypassed Malat. You skipped the DOJ. You claimed your threats were just administrative. We call that what it is, an attack on American sovereignty and the Constitution. The 4 public holdouts, 4chan, Kiwi Farms, Sasu, Gab, already turned your fines into memes and hamster pictures. The rest of you complied in the dark. That ends now. To every American company still deciding whether to kneel, the Granite Act is coming. Federal legislation that will let you sue foreign censors and void their orders in U.S. courts. Congress is watching. The Trump administration has already called this out. The State Department has already sent diplomats to London to tell you no. Choose your side. If you comply again, you are not neutral. You are collaborators. If you stand, you are not just defending your platform. You are defending the last free corner of the internet. Britain, your empire ended once because you forgot a simple truth.
Sorry, guys. Oh, I thought I didn't play that one. I got one from one of the channels on Telegram. Nancy Drew had a video. I haven't seen it, but it was on somebody else's. So let's check that one out. This from yesterday. This one's 10 minutes. Starfire, you follow her, right? Was this yesterday? Where's the volume? Volume's on. I don't know why there's no volume.
Let me see if it. Oh, hello.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, I don't know if it's slow here or what's going on. I know it has been a very long time. It has. Your girl has had a very rough time of things. Sheesh. Hold on. Bunch of kids. Holy shiznit. Old school group following behind me. And yes, you're staring at the fence. Oh Lord, I think that's the first time I've laughed in weeks. Yeah, I know it's been a very long time. We have had some nothing but bad news. And Jalen is not doing well. So
Okay, thanks, Rapper.
just trying to hang on to life right now, guys. So just please bear with me. Got a couple National Guard walking right there. Yeah, I'm just doing the best that I can just to get through all of this. And we're not done. Her next surgery is May 19th. And we just keep getting bad news about her, and it's tearing me apart. Life is tearing me apart. All right, so this place is actually very, very busy today, all over the place. There are school groups and tour buses, and just it's crazy here. Like, I mean, look at all the people, just they're everywhere. And I don't know if it's like remnants of Easter week or, spring vacation or what it is, okay? But they're everywhere. So very quiet over the Capitol. Didn't expect to see anything over there right now, okay? I know that the reflecting pool has been drained. Those of you that have been with me, that's not the first time this has happened, okay? It has happened before. And now I don't know if they plan on doing any like specific repairs to it. Because remember, for this 250th coming up, because remember, they are putting the museum in the Lincoln Memorial, okay? And that's supposed to be done. So I think next week when I pop up one day, and I can find some parking over in that area, I'll go and I'll start talking to the construction guys and see where they're with that. And we'll take a look at the Fed Reserve. I wanted to show you that today because they've made a lot of progress, but there's absolutely no parking anywhere. I had to circle this area 6 times to find somewhere to park here. It's just that busy here. So I don't know if they're going to be doing like repairs for the reflecting pool for this 250th with the museum and stuff. I don't know, but don't get all jacked up over that, because that has happened before. Okay, so let's take a look at what they're doing in here, and then I'm going to get back home to Jalen. She said she'd be okay for a few hours. So obviously they still have it all fenced in. They're not letting anybody up in Lafayette Square at all, but they are really okay. It's very bright. Get in here and show you and fences. So they are really going like all out in Lafayette Square here. And I don't know if, let's see if we can peek over here a little. So I don't know, damn going fences. My brain's a little weird. So I don't know if they're tearing out the fountains or working on the fountains or what they're doing right now. There's only the sign that says they're making this area safer and more beautiful. So, but they are really working on the entire place. Looks like they're going to put new grass in and everything. They don't even have like the spring flowers like they normally plant here.
none of that stuff.
Hey, 3 minutes.
And of course, I can't get a shot out, of the construction of
Still
the
got
ballroom
20 minutes.
and, what's going on underneath the ballroom, which has been revealed to everybody. Just large people, so many people. But remember what we saw with them excavating. They were excavating in that area. Remember, like 3 or 4 years ago. It's been so long since I've been coming here. So it makes me think of so many different things, with them excavating back there and what is that? Out of DC. But you still can't get a look at anything over there. Nothing over there. But this is, you can barely even see the White House. And you can see it good on the south side. But this is what it looks on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it day by day right now, guys. There's nothing else going on here. Let me walk away from this lady. I love her being here, but it's loud.
She was playing music. Okay, why is the screen all messed up? Can we play this one, Flying Eagle?
Feel the difference.
I've built my career auditing for quality and efficiency. We operate in 67 countries around the world.
Left. Watch out. Oh my goodness. The presidential limo has just burst onto the south wall.
9 minutes. I don't think I did.
Watch out. It's it.
Die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And the villains of the January 6th committee, they thought they were heroes. They sure as hell acted like it, including bringing in some of Donald Trump's closest advisors or personal assistants to testify against him, like in this case with Cassidy Hutchinson. She was an aide at the White House. She worked for President Trump. And she thought she would have her hero moment here in this testimony with Liz Cheney. But it turns out she's probably going to go to jail for it. And let me just play you a really short sample of exactly why, and then we'll talk about what the DOJ is about to do to Cassidy Hutchinson. But listen to what Cassidy said about Donald Trump on the date of January 6th, 2021.
The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president. Take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing."
The Secret Service agent, Bobby.
The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol."
Oh, okay.
Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
What? Oh, wow. So as Donald Trump took control of the beast, as it's called, the presidential vehicle. You know, it sounds like an unbelievable made-for-TV story, literally made up for TV, because, you know, we have diagrams of the beast and the vehicle that Donald Trump travels in. And those diagrams show that there is an 8-inch lead piece of steel and bulletproof glass between the president's compartment and the Secret Service agent and the steering wheel. So to believe this story from Cassidy Hutchinson and Liz Cheney, you'd have to believe that Donald Trump turned into Orange Hulk, Red Hulk or Green Hulk or all of them together, smashed through the bulletproof glass with his bare fists, ripped open the steel that separates the driver's compartment and the president, got in between all the weapons and so on, and then choked out and was grabbing the steering wheel. Put her in prison. Put her in prison. DOJ opens a criminal investigation into January 6th star witness Cassie Hutchinson. Famously, Liz Cheney took this witness and manipulated her. Liz Cheney needs to be put in jail next.
Right to jail.
The U.S. Department of Justice has opened a criminal investigation into Cassidy Hutchinson, former White House staffer, who made a number of false claims about Donald Trump. January 6th committee, 2022. The probe, led by DOJ Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, ding, 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 began in April this month, after a criminal referral from Barry Loudermilk. Let's go ahead and look at that criminal referral. Here it is. Liz Cheney colluded with star witness Cassie Hutchinson without her attorney's knowledge. That's illegal. Former Representative Liz Cheney should be investigated for potential crimes, witness tampering based on new information about her communication. Cassie Hutchinson's most outrageous claims lacked any evidence, and the select committee had knowledge that her claims were false when they publicly promoted her. President Trump did not attack Secret Service detail at any time during January 6th. Secret Service has said this, of course, right? President Trump did not have intelligence indicating violence on the morning of January 6th. Cassidy Hutchinson falsely claimed to have drafted a handwritten note for the president on January 6th. Representative Cheney and Hutchinson basically attempted to disbar Hutchinson's former attorney. This is what they found. They have the receipts. They have the evidence. They subpoenaed. They got him. And now Cassidy Hutchinson is under DOJ investigation. GOP lawmakers pushed charges against former White House aide for lying to Congress. What does lying to Congress get you? It could get you 5 years in prison. Republicans on Capitol Hill are asking the Justice Department to consider bringing criminal charges against Cassidy Hutchinson, former aide Donald Trump administration, when she was manipulated by Liz Cheney, who really is like an evil force here. Obviously, Liz Cheney, somebody who took advantage of Cassidy Hutchinson, told her that she would be hailed as a hero
after she testified.
It was unpatriotic. It was un-American. We were watching the Capitol building get defaced over a lie.
See, Dollar Shave Club just has great razors at a great price and no bull.
Want to flush out its swollen legs? Stop doing this first. I'm going to show you something about leg swelling that might surprise you. Most folks have heard about lymph nodes.
Why did she go where so few have gone before?
What Cassie Hutchinson did was an unbelievable example of bravery and of courage and patriotism in the face of real pressure.
The president said,
"You've got to put Liz Cheney in irons for this. These are all these are bona fide lies." The House Administration's Oversight Subcommittee, which is chaired by Barry Loudermilk, released a 128-page report. A January 6th star witness had outrageous claims that were obviously false, but they publicly promoted her anyway. They probably wrote the claims. This is probably Liz Cheney writing the claims. Remember, this stuff was made for TV. They brought in a TV producer from ABC News in order to produce these hearings. This is all part of the plan. Same TV news producer, by the way, that wouldn't let the Epstein story get broken on ABC. December 2024, Loudermilk referred Liz Cheney to the Department of Justice for an investigation for potential criminal witness tampering. Loudermilk accused Cheney of colluding with then media darling Hutchinson without her attorney's knowledge. Hutchinson had testified that President Trump was aware that his supporters had weapons on the morning of January 6th, but didn't care that they were there not to hurt him, so he doesn't care. She falsely claimed that Trump tried to seize the wheel of the presidential limo and lunged his former security detail on the way to the Capitol. So the Civil Rights Division is now investigating Hutchinson for lying. New York Times confirmed this across 4 sources. The Times also reported that DOJ officials have been skeptical from the outset about whether there is a viable criminal case. The investigation was opened recent weeks as Pam Bondi was trying to shore up shaky standing before she was fired. Anyway, fine. The mechanism is worth naming precisely. The Civil Rights Division was created in 1957 to investigate systemic abuses like police misconduct and racial discrimination. It's being used here to pursue the accusation of lying to Congress, an entirely different legal category, but illegal by the way. New shocking footage of Trump driving the Beast on January 6th. Why would Trump do this? Oh, man. It's over now for Trump. They got him. The walls are closing in. The walls are closing in. Okay. Go get her. What a nightmare. Super serious journalist Jake Tapper had her on. Shockingly, Jake didn't see any red flags when interviewing somebody who says that Trump could break through the 8-inch steel in the Beast and bulletproof glass. So good job, CNN. Great job all around. Also, people are definitely always telling the truth
Probably
when they're looking straight up.
Harris, and I do.
Just a reminder that Cassie Hutchison endorsed Kamala Harris live on MSNBC.
There are probably a few issues that
Always trust people who look straight up at the ceiling, right? When they're trying to like come up with things to say. Yeah, there you go. There's your credible witness. Endorsing Kamala Harris. I'm sure that really changed things, by the way. That did great. How did Kamala Harris, how did that work out for you, by the way? Got woodshedded. Now she's going to get woodshedded by the DOJ. Good riddance. It's your boy, Benny. Justice for traitors. See you.
Okay, another Benny video. One more, last one. This military one is 18 minutes. Just came out. Back at 6.
Support Israel and the Jewish people. Now, more than ever, Israel needs committed.
There has never been a worse time in history to be a Russian soldier. It's not just because tens of thousands of them are being killed and wounded every month, nor is it only because they're treated like cannon fodder by their commanders, sent out on suicide mission assaults without adequate training, reliable equipment, or any armor to protect them. It's because every single second of their lives is a waking nightmare. A nightmare in which terror.
You guys want to listen to that one, or should I try another one? Is that Russian one okay? We'll try this one here. We'll do Doug. I'm trying to find a good one to finish the show with. Okay, Flying Eagle just sent me 2 videos. Oh, Derek. Okay. I just subbed to him. Okay, we're going to stay an extra hour, you guys. We're going to play Derek Johnson an hour. So it's only been 2 hours. I know I said 3, but Derek looks like has a big video. I wasn't going to play any other hours, but we're going to play that one. Are you guys all in favor of listening to Derek? We got ones up there in chat. I'll stay on and do this hour one. Sounds good. Okay, Angie. I'll come back at 7 o'clock after we finish this one.
Actually, take that back. June the 16th, 2015. And then November the 8th, 2016. Get my years mixed up there. Man, it's been an all-out operation. Now, I know that people are getting tired and fatigued, and you think, oh, Derek Johnson's dragging this out. He keeps dragging it, dragging it. He comes up with something weekly to keep dragging it out. How come every bit of my work can be backed via laws and orders that are currently invoked right now? And then there's all these, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you want to call them. I call them nuggets or Scooby snacks. There's all these little Scooby snacks over here that you have to explain that quote unquote Joe did not do that are lawful, right? The flip version though, like the flip, the polar opposite, the things he did not do by law that explain and outline that what you're witnessing is a strategic operation. Now, what a lot of people are not doing right now, and some of it is innocent, because from 2016 and back, depending on how old you are, you've been brainwashed. You've been controlled and brainwashed. A lot of it by design. But there's also has to be some responsibility added there that shows that also people are lazy and complacent and don't want to put in the work. I mean, there's a lot of people who just don't want to look in the mirror and be like, you know what, I might be actually part of the problem.
Thanks, Starfire.
Now, being part of the problem in a scenario like this don't mean that you should be kicked out of the country or lose your citizenship or anything of that nature. You just have to apply that, hey, if I'm going to whine, complain, gripe, fuss, bicker, all these other things about something, then you might want to know what? The ingredients to it. You know, I'm not a great cook, but if someone cooks me something, I'm not going to whine and complain about it because I can't cook it. And it may not have tasted as great, but I know my version would have been trash. See how that works? So many people are fatigued because why? You don't even know what's going on. You don't know the laws, you don't know the orders. But then there's one other very big key piece that most even patriots are missing. The appreciation, but also the reading and studying of the part of the military you don't know about. Most Americans, you just know the military because your daddy or your cousin or your son or your uncle or somebody served. Now, you can know every intricate detail of what they did in the military, but you got to be able to look at the military as a massive whole. All the different laws, all the different regulations, all the different strategies. There's a bunch of them. So when you hear anybody automatically out the gate say this is hogwash or it shouldn't take longer than 30 minutes to explain, they're part of the problem. They are the problem. That's the laziness. That's the complacency. They're also the ones who just let the hook get put in their mouth and they get drugged along. Then they wonder why America looks the way it looks, wonder why the states look the way they look, wonder why people look the way they look. So this week was like a massive, massive checkmate. I mean, if you're a patriot, and a lot of you are that follow me, a lot of you are. There's a lot still struggling, and if you're new, welcome.
But if you're new, you're going to have to go back and back study a little bit. And I always wondered how it was going to be for me to be able to post on social media because, you know, there's so many posts, there's so many pages, there's so many accounts, there's so many quote unquote influencers out there that everybody's just getting, you know, tied to all this. But even someone intricate like me, it's you got to go back. You got to go back and scroll, get on a laptop and scroll as far back as you can on my accounts if you're new and work your way forward. A lot of my early material was chronological. Now, my material on my posts are for people who have read and studied, and that's why they love and like the post, and they share the post because they're read and studied, and they know where we are in this operation. If you're brand new, welcome. You're right where you're supposed to be. It may sound braggadocious, and that's all right, but retired veteran, put into a unique position to show you what's exactly going on right now via laws and orders of the blueprint, the chronological order blueprint that President Donald John Trump is working with. So, number one bestsellers. This is part one, and obviously part two, which is a lot bigger. This is heavy into special operations. Heavy special operations, not special forces, special operations, unconventional warfare, irregular warfare. You want to know what's going on? You've got to know what the commanders are working with. The Supreme Commander, President Trump, but then your admirals and your generals that did not get compromised and bought that are working for humanity. Or are you going to continue to be lost? And you don't have to be. Because what's funny to me is when I see all these people out there posting, especially the ones that know me, and they're not sharing my books one bit or my platform. When there is a finite, intricate, chronological blueprint of what is exactly taking place right now that will guide people to the place you need to be mentally, and also whatever way you want to call it right here, your soul, your fuzzy little feeling. Nobody right now, where we are in history, nobody with their attitude should be negative or pessimistic. And it's for humanity. It's not Republican. It's not conservative. It's not just for that. It's for everybody. Because this past week was a massive checkmate. So if you're brand new, probably going to struggle a little bit. But if you're a patriot, or if you got friends and family, because I know a lot of people do, if you got friends and family sitting right on the fence, this should make them hop off and come on over to the good side. So what are the odds of the timing of Jack Smith's testimony? Perfect. The timing of that cannot be any more perfect. Because I've been doing some podcasts recently called Principles. So many Americans don't live by principles. They live by feelings. They live by wishy-washy feelings and wishy-washy thoughts that don't get you anywhere. There's a difference in a thought and thinking. Whew. That's poetry right there. President Trump said early on, straight out the gate, 2017, early on, he said, be careful what you wish for. Now, you don't have to be a chess player to know what's going on with 5D chess. It helps to understand what stalemate means and what a white flag of surrender is. But what's genius about this whole operation, and you've heard me say it before, but what's genius about it is the fact that every single one of us, living, breathing, walking, that has a brain, has a conscience, but has a moral conscience, which God gave us, but a lot of people defy it. But every single one of us that has that, we have choices in life. We have a choice to choose what we want to be, who we want to be, etc. And so it's so genius how to flip such a massive psychological game, but also monetary system, central banks, and all these systems that were intricately woven together for the evil, plus all the other things, the trafficking, the human trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking, all these rings, right? It's just a massive global thing. Psychologically, to flip that, but to get people involved is to what? Give them what they want. And I don't like it, but there's nothing we can do about it, right? Me personally, I wish everybody could look at facts of what they're yelling at and go, oh, I said the polar opposite of that. Yeah, you did. And then go, look, I'm not beating you up. Flip it. Flip your script, right? This is for everybody. But people don't do that. People love drama, Americans especially, love drama, drama, drama. So you got to do what? In order to get them involved, you got to give it to them the way they will receive it. And that's what's taking place. But instead of telling on people, every single one of you out there, you know this. Whenever you've done something in your life that would be deemed as a slap on the wrist, it was much better for it to happen to you and to you come to that realization than it was for someone to tell on you, to be a snitch or to tell on you or rat you out, call you out, put you out on the platform and go, he did this, she said this, he said it. It's much better to trap people and make them come to a wall. Funny how the wall comes into play all the time. You trap people. When they get to this wall, and then everything around them is enclosed around them, and you have water, you have food, you have resources to sit it out, what do they have to do? White flag of surrender. Tell on themselves. Then, when they tell on themselves, all the people, the morons, the idiots, those who outright support evil, they all have to eat crow. So they all die together, right? Bingo, hashtag checkmate. So Jack Smith's timing this week was perfect to do with principles, because you have to stand on a principle in order for anybody with principles, but especially those of us in charge, and I'm nowhere near the top, but I'm just meaning, but those who are running the operation, those who are in charge, those who have the influence, but the good influence, in order for anybody in a position that's running the good operation to take you serious, you must have the same principles. You must buy into the same ideology. And I can outline over and over, even though this podcast is not for that, but I can outline over and over and over and over and over again how every intricate detail of this 45-47 operation it is so identical to our foundation and our Revolutionary War and the ideologies of our founders. It's not even funny. And anyone who says polar opposite, they are an enemy, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing, and they're trying to deceive you and lie to you. And the way that you whip that is you got to know that plan. You have to know it. You have to read and study it and put it right here. Same thing that God tells you with the Bible. You got to put the scripture right here, right here, right here. You got to know it yourself. You can hear it all you want, but you got to know it. You got to feel it. Patriots, you got to be patient. There's two scenarios playing out right now. What I'm about to outline is what the target audience has to see. Give them what they want. You, the patriot, you got to be patient. Because if you're truly a patient, if you're truly a patriot, then you'll be patient. There's no other way to. If you're a patriot, your attitude will be correct. You won't be wishy-washy. The smallest little things week by week will not affect you whatsoever. You already have built-in patience, or you should. If you don't, you're not a true patriot. Not yet. So the whole timing of this is epic. But you have to know what happened in 2017 and 2021. All the capitulations that took place. President Trump doing things that's never been seen before. He, first president seen in the forbidden city of China in 500 plus years. Crowned the king in Saudi Arabia. I mean, we could keep going. But there's other podcasts that I have for that. Then 2021 to 2025 was a government in exile on President Trump, and it was a puppet government by quote unquote Joe and that. All irregular and unconventional warfare. If you don't know any of those, that's the missing links. It's all the military strategies. That's what most people are missing and not appreciating and not respecting, are the military aspects of this, but the bigger, broad strategies. Not what you think of your daddy, your cousin, your son or uncle or whoever, mama, auntie, whoever. You got to know the bigger picture. So there's two scenarios playing out. One's for the target audience, one's for the patriots. But if you're a patriot, you're smiling right now. You should be. You should be hashtag checkmate, baby. You should be walking around everybody being like, I'm in your presence. In a good way. All right, so the first things you got to know about principles. The first things first. All right, President Trump, December the 2nd, 2025, just last month, President Trump put up a post. And he said, all, which means 21 to 25, 2021 to 2025, all of quote unquote, I put the quotes. He didn't do that, but I put the quotes because you know why. All the quote unquote Joe's executive orders, proclamations, treaties, pardons, legal documents, etc., all have been terminated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who don't know laws and orders that well, terminating 4 years worth of executive actions, legal documents, pardons, etc., if that were real, you talking about chaos and pandemonium, lawfully, judiciary, etc., would be pandemonium. It'd be chaos, especially with the Democrats and the liberals. You're not seeing that. What you think is chaos and what you think is pandemonium is nowhere remotely close to it. That's all planned. Everything that you call pandemonium, it's all planned. It's all part of the plan. Because we're not to the end yet. But it's getting there. Oh, it's so close. This is why this is a hashtag checkmate moment. So, by principle, what's happening to a lot of quote-unquote patriots out there is you'll see a post like that by President Trump, but then he'll follow up with another post that says, Joe did this and Joe did that, and then you're like, oh, I don't know what. No, you got to read between the lines. If you know the chronological blueprint of the strategic operation that's taking place, which heavily involves all the strategies I talk about with irregular and unconventional warfare, which is a lot of hybrid warfare because they take a lot from guerrilla, asymmetrical, the irregular and unconventional, and cybersecurity, a bunch of different things, and integrate it. If you don't know any of that, you're going to be lost and unappreciative and look like the target audience, which they're supposed to look like that because they don't know any of this. A lot of them don't know it, but many of them don't want to seek to know it. So they're giving them what they want. All right. So this whole timing of everything, The principle would be is if President Trump is telling you that everything by quote unquote Joe is terminated and gone, well, it never existed. And in his post, he tells you it never existed. In the same post, he said no legal effect. That is a term, ladies and gentlemen, void ad initio. It's Latin. Void ad initio translates to no legal effect. Void ad initio means it never existed. I don't think anybody's heard me talk about this. I have posted it, but I don't think you've listened. I think people have heard it, but didn't listen how big that is. Never existed. That is the dash. That's the 45-47. And President Trump on December the 2nd validates the whole thing by saying void ad initio, but he said no legal effect, which is a translation of that, which means never existed. None of the 21 to 25 ever existed. But that's for the people who know what you're supposed to know, which is very few. The other portions for the target audience. Oh, Joe did this and Joe did that, and they let this and they did that. Two scenarios. All right, now let's move to Jack Smith. The principle is this. If all the 21 to 25 never existed, then Jack Smith can't exist. His appointment as special counsel November the 18th, 2022 doesn't exist. By Merrick Garland, none of it exists. So you either got to believe on one portion or you got to believe the other. That's where you have to choose. And if you choose to believe all the drama and all the propaganda, what the target audience has to see, then you're on the wrong page. You need to remove yourself from here and go follow the mainstream. It's that simple. If you're saying it's hogwash and bullcrap and conspiracy theory, you're part of the problem. You are the problem. Military laws, military orders, military regulations, military strategies are not conspiracy theory. And that's the difference in me and everybody else out there.
This is yesterday's video.
I show you straight up the .gov, .mil, how they integrate, how they combine, how they conjoin, and how they go together, and how they're enforced. So the principle is you either got to believe President Trump when he says they're all terminated and know what the implications of terminating 4 years worth of lawful actions would imply, and then know that, hey, there's a blueprint that goes with that, a chronological blueprint from his laws and orders from 2017 to present day, and know all the ways that I've tied in how that happened lawfully, or you got to believe all the other. Before you can appreciate this hashtag checkmate that I'm about to deliver right here. So you got to choose your side of the line. And if you want to be on the side with all the patriots that knows what's going on, then you got to divorce everything else and then study what the blueprint is. Study the strategic operation and everything that goes with it. So here we go. So old Jacko dropped all the charges on President Trump in December. All right. So what about 2022 to 2025, January the 19th, the day before? What happened to those dates? And then also 2028 moving forward. I'm going to pause you on that. We're going to come back to that. So guess who conducted this hearing? So he drops the charges in December. Now we're having a testimony by Jack Smith who conducted the hearing. GOP House Judiciary Committee. So why would the Republicans, Jim Jordan, why would Republicans call a Judiciary House Committee to hear the testimony of Jack Smith after he dropped charges? So you'll see some articles out there saying, oh, the Republicans messed up and all this other stuff. No. That is noise. That is distractions. If you know every single law and order that is currently invoked right now, that outlines the strategic operation, the 45-47, you would be smiling and grinning, and you would be sipping on whatever you sip on for your cheerful moments. You would be walking around all of the people who called you names, call you crazy, call you a conspiracy theorist, call you a tinfoil head, or whatever. You'd be walking around them like you were the most popular king or queen in history. You would be walking around making jokes saying, please take the floor and bow to your highness. Hey, when you know it's all right to be confident, baby, when you know what's taking place, because it's all God-driven in the first place, whether you're a Christian or not, whatever, but it's all higher-driven. All right, so Jack Smith's testimony. Now, what the Democrats did, they focus on the term democracy. In this hearing, if you go watch the whole thing, which you don't have to, I'm break it down for you because I take all the key facts that you need out of it and tie it to your laws and the orders. All right. They focus on the term democracy, and then what's destructive about a president seeking to overturn, in which they use the term steal the election. So they're accusing President Trump of trying to steal 2020. When President Trump was saying that the Democrats stole it. So see, by principle, you can't, one side has to choose what term they're going to use. See how that worked? See how that was another checkmate moment? There's your principle right there. There's one of them. The Democrats are going to have to choose what term they want to use. Because if President Trump was trying to steal the election, but they're trying to say that he tried to steal the election, no, we're going to pause there because this is not the holy grail moment. All right. First off, let's go to the term democracy. All right. You got to know our history. Our founders started a war first. They started the Revolutionary War. Then they established a military. 16 days later, they established the first war articles, which would be your military law. Then came the Declaration of Independence a year later. Then came the Articles of Confederation, which would be your first constitution, but it was still within the war, 1777. They tore that up. September the 17th, 1787, James Madison, sole author, wrote the Constitution. But from 1787 to 1789, March the 4th specifically, that's why March the 4th was our original inauguration date in history. From 1787 to March the 4th, 1789, in between those dates, the Federalist Papers. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and John Jay. 3 of them. That's it. They authored and or co-authored together 85 Federalist Papers. Those were promotion papers for the Constitution. So it'd have been like me, I have the documents that I wrote, and they were just giblets of notes from 2016 to 2021 that I published January 2021 for the people who knew me then. So those were my promotion papers for these books, basically.
Okay, 30
Which
minutes.
shows I
got
had
in
these
so far.
published long before I wrote this
45,
book and put this
hopefully I
out
can get
in December 2023.
most of
The
it here.
Federalist Papers are promotion papers for the Constitution, meaning they went around telling people this is why you're going to love the Constitution. This is why we need the Constitution. This is why we, etc., need the Constitution. Liberals never, all caps, all bold, underline, italics, whatever you want to put on. Libtards never quote the Declaration of Independence, and they never quote from the Federalist Papers. The only thing they use in their quote-unquote defense is the Constitution. The Constitution is not what you want to use as your defense, ladies and gentlemen. The Constitution was designed and written for us as a framework to keep our representatives in check on what we, the people, want. When that goes awry, meaning when that is derailed, when those entities go against the grain of our ideologies, that's where the Declaration of Independence gives us the prescription. That's where our rights come in. It says,
okay, Fine Eagle just text me. Yeah, we'll cut it in 2 parts. We got 31 minutes into it. I marked it down where we left off, so we'll get back for tonight. But we haven't seen Billy Bean yet today, or Mel yet. So we'll come back. Yeah, let's make it. Is 6 o'clock sounds good, you guys? 6:30. You want to go to 7 o'clock? Well, I guess 7 might be better. Because everybody's got the weekend, and hopefully everybody will be home by 6 and have dinner and everything. So we'll make it 7. It's Saturday night. I got my TV on to watch the games and stuff, so we'll make it 7. So thanks. Yeah, I lost Derek's channel. I don't know. I must have unsub. I don't know what I did, but I'm glad I got it back. So, because I like playing him. I think a lot of people like to listen to him. So thanks, Maj, Fine Eagle, Carol, Lucy, and Tim, and JK. So everyone have a good rest of the few hours here, and we'll have more good stuff tonight. All right. God bless, love all, peace alike, and stay safe, stay strong, and keep the faith, and never give up. We'll see you guys all in a few hours. Signing off, Chico Do for Saturday show number 1, and see you tonight.